Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to our next installment of the Cannabis Tech Stack Summit, brought to you by the National Association of Cannabis Accounting and Tax Professionals. I see we got a bunch of you guys in there. Please just let us know where you are chiming in from. And if you are a cannabis operator or ancillary. See, we have Angela. Hello, hello. Okay, so you guys can hear and see us just fine. Okay, we are going to get started. We have another software platform for you, and I think you guys are in for a treat. We have Fishbowl, and we have Miss Barbara Dean and Kara Tomich. Did I pronounce that right? Okay. Presenting to you today. So, just a little bit about Fishbowl. They have been around for quite some time, and they're going to get into the details and let you know that. But I remember Fishbowl when I first started in the cannabis industry, which is about 7 or 8 years ago. So they've been a player for quite some time. Fishbowl Inventory is an all-in-one inventory and manufacturing management software designed to help growing businesses manage their stock, streamline order fulfillment, and scale operations. It provides real time inventory visibility across multiple warehouses and sales channels, offers robust manufacturing features, and integrates with accounting software like QuickBooks. The platform features customizable dashboards, automated reporting, and tools for tracking products through their entire life cycle, from raw materials to finished goods. So if you're having trouble with determining the cost of goods sold for your client, for your cultivation client, this is the place that you need to be. So looks like we got a couple people from the DC, from Tennessee. All right, awesome. Well, I'll let you guys take it from here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Naomi. Can you hear me okay? Perfect.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kara Tomich, and I'm the partner manager here at Fishbowl. You'll have to forgive my fairly casual appearance here. I've stepped away from a conference down here in Miami. We are in show season, so we are on the go, and I'm looking forward to hopefully meeting some of you at MJ BizCon in December, where I will most likely be in this getup. I joined Fishbowl about 3 years ago, and I actually joined from the customer end. So I was an end user of our manufacturing product for about 4.5 years. And that was after using NetSuite, Anson 7, and a handful of others. So I like to just kind of add that to my intro, just so if there's anything that I can ever help you guys with from the customer perspective, I'm always happy to put that hat on. Um, a very quick, I don't think I can follow up Naomi's intro. You basically covered us, but we have been in business almost 25 years, which we're thrilled about. A direct integrated partner of Intuit's for over 20 years, among other finance solutions that we work with. So I am your dedicated partner manager. I will be sharing this presentation with Naomi so she can disperse it out to everybody. We're thrilled to have you here and to kind of learn all the many verticals we support, but especially cannabis. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Barbara, who is our phenomenal sales engineer on our team and who will be taking you all through this demo.
Perfect. Perfect. Thanks. Okay. So on the Fishbowl side, um, I just wanted to kind of come through and help give us a high level of how Fishbowl can play, right? We'll have all of your parts. This is from like raw goods, and as with cannabis, one of the tricks there is that is constantly moving, right? I have raw goods turning into finished goods. That finished good turns into a raw good because I'm trying to evolve it like from the seed to the stages of the plant, manage and track all of what's going on there waste wise, my outcomes, my outputs coming into inventory. So Fishbowl will hold all of those parts for us, those raw goods, those finished goods that are needing to come into play, right? We'll hold your quantity in inventory. I know that on the docket, like we've got some different costing methods, discussions that we kind of wanted to have. I'll pause here for a second and have that. Fishbowl can go ahead and do standard costing. It can do average costing, FIFO or LIFO. And so then on the Fishbowl side, I'm going to come into inventory so that you can see that. And I've got some models here set up for like the cannabis industry. I'm going to go into this tincture that I have right here, and I can see that I have a lot number associated with these quantities. I can see where I have it, quantity, but then on the back end of that, I'm also holding that costing. My database right now is set to average, right? But I can go ahead and see like all of my different layers that I have for all of my units. Let me just see if I have a different item.
And Barbara, while you're looking that up, Naomi, any questions? We like interactive demonstrations. So if there's any questions that pop up, let us know. I'm a little bit limited on my interaction here. So if you could help facilitate, that'd be great.
Yeah. Okay. And so then on the Fishbowl side, we'll be able to see like all of the cost layers coming in. You can see right here that Fishbowl, although the database is set to go ahead and run primarily one of the costing methods, I'm always capturing the data on the other methods as well. Right here, I can see like on June 2nd, 2020, I brought in 500, and then the cost per unit was $70. Right, that's where Fishbowl's going to be able to go ahead and hold like that cost value and be able to help us see um, what our raw goods are, what production is actually costing, right? What our margins are on our sales orders. Okay, I think it'd be good to go ahead and give us a sneak peek on our parts, right? So on the Fishbowl side, we can kind of see how, like, let's go right here. I want to do like seed to, end user. So I can go ahead and see like, okay, I've got a raw good, right? And I'm coming in and we're going to go ahead and get that to be a mature plant, right? That's going to go through its phases, its steps. I'm going to scoot over here and kind of help us see like that bill of material, where I can see, okay, that immature plant is becoming a mature plant. What have I added to it? What labor, what other components have I added to it to help it grow, right? To get that cost-wise on the Fishbowl side, all of these raw goods have quantity and cost because I've purchased them or brought them in, right? And that's where Fishbowl is going to be able to help us see how much production is costing. Right, so that mature plant right now, I have that costing out, including my labor, right? And this one has a sub-assembly as well, right? And coming out at $40.66. Okay, I want to just scoot over. I want to take it to a, just a second, let's, like a finished good that I would sell. All right, so now in this, I've taken it from the seed to the mature plant. Now I've harvested the mature plant, and now I'm going into production, right, to go ahead and make a finished good item. Let's kick right here. And so then I can go ahead and kick over um, and sell that pre-roll. The pre-roll now on the Fishbowl side, let's talk about that being connected to like metric and metric coming into play and helping us see what it is that we're trying to keep track of through metric and all of reaching all of those compliance issues that we have in this industry, right? So on the Fishbowl side, we would be able to go ahead and have metric come into play and connect. I'm going to go ahead and scoot over this screen for a second. So one of the metric PDFs that comes with Fishbowl, right, would be right here for this sales invoice and shipping manifest. Also have a transportation manifest that Metric is also coming through and providing with us. But I just wanted to kind of give you a sneak peek on those, how that comes into play.
So we do have a question. I think, can we
Yeah.
just kind of start from the beginning? So at some point we have to enter labor, we have to enter water, we have to enter soil, and then somehow they are attached to specific RFID tags or clones, or like how does that bill of material begin to start being built so that we have the cost of whip and the cost of the product all the way until it's time to be sold?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so in that, let's walk this through.
And actually, Barbara, if I could just take a quick minute there, something I
Yeah.
should have mentioned in the beginning, sometimes I end with. Um, a really great thing about Fishbowl and kind of where we stand apart, quite honestly, why I chose them as a customer is because of their onboarding and implementation experts that help walk your clients through this process. So, wherever their current inventory is living or data, let's call it data, usually it's on Excel spreadsheets, right? Or maybe like an outdated system and it's all misconnected or disconnected. So our team going through onboarding would walk through the client with helping them extrapolate their data, get it all into one kind of like local spot, which you all, as kind of the experts of their business, would know. Okay, this is the good data we have that we want to build out our database, and it's going to have all of these ingredients, bill of materials, all their raw products, whether it's their packaging, their machinery, etc. They're going to help. We're going to help in that process identify, here are all of our parts and products, here are all of our bills of materials, here are our standard working operations, here are all the different locations we need. Maybe we need like a quality control location, a specific receiving location. The dedicated implementation expert that would be assigned to your client, they would walk through that with them like a literal handheld situation. I can also provide you with an implementation guide of, it's like a step-by-step recipe almost of um, how and when we will execute things. And so that's where it builds out the structure of the database, and then enters what Barbara is showing you of, okay, now that we have a great database, now let's work through the steps. I
Yeah.
hope that helps answers a little bit of it.
Yeah. This just gives you a sneak peek at that picture of implementation. I know this is on the docket to kind of talk through, right? How we implement. I'll go through this in a little bit more detail as well, but this is how, when you purchase Fishbowl, you'll have an implementer assigned and we'll walk through all those steps with you. Okay, so on the Fishbowl side of things, um, from start to finish then, um, I'm coming through like helping you kind of see parts, bill of materials, inventory, right? Start to finish would be either we are producing to inventory, so we're building to stock. Sometimes a sales order comes in and then that's why we come through and build. And so we can do both or a hybrid of both, right? So if we want to go ahead and build to stock, we can help you do that and have automation there. On the Fishbowl side, let's walk through bill of materials start to finish, right? So now I have, let me kick right here. And Naomi, as you were kind of saying, like I have like a seed or a clone, right? And I have labor and I'm coming through with an immature plant. Now, all of these are parts in Fishbowl, um, so that we can go ahead and start to assign quantity and cost to them. And then I kick out as that plant's growing, right? I say, okay, now I'm at a status where I've reached that immature plant. I'm at that height, so I'm able to go ahead and close that out. Now, the bill of materials, just to help us see that, that's going to go ahead and run in production, right? So as I am going ahead and starting to produce, right, and I've got plants in the ground, that kind of thing, I'm going to run that in production. The bill of material is essentially setting up as the recipe to go ahead and put it into production. Now let's walk this through a little bit more. So as my immature plant, this has those raw goods in it and it becomes that immature plant. Now my immature plant is in my mature plant. So right here, I can see that I'm pulling that immature plant And I made it have a stopping point at that immature plant because of the fact that on the compliance issues that I have, where I have to document these things about this plant at this stage and at this level, that's where I'm coming in and doing that. Now I'm ready to go ahead and move it to its next phase. And so now I'm saying, hey, I'm queuing up to go ahead and say, now these are running to their mature plant. You can see right here, I'm going to go ahead and consume that immature plant. I've got water and labor going in right here. This one had
So
that subassembly. Yeah.
is there a point where we have inserted the water bill and then it knows the cost that we're paying for water?
Yes, so as I come through and on the water, what I'm really giving that is the quantity and the cost of that quantity on the fishbowl side. So if I kick in on this part right here, right, um, and I can see when I buy that, what vendors I've bought it from, what I'm paying per cost. And so then, yes, I am able to go ahead and bring that into Fishbowl so that I'm able to see cost. If you want to go ahead and create a purchase order for it, that's great, right? To go ahead and pull it in. Um, and then that's where Fishbowl's going to come through and be able to go ahead and add that cost into that. Does that help? I just want to pause there and make sure we're good there.
Yeah, I thought there was a whole nother screen or module where we actually enter all of our bills and then this kind of automatically builds out.
Oh
Last
yeah, you
time I
do.
saw this.
You do. So
Okay.
right here in purchasing, right, you'll have the ability to go ahead and start to purchase all of the raw goods, right? And Fishbowl even has this auto PO where you come through, and if I have production already set to go ahead and say, hey, I would like to make some mature plants and I want to do 1,000 of them, it queues it up. It knows that it needs an immature plant, right? It knows all the phases from that seed to the mature plant that we're trying to go ahead and load, and that it helps us purchase those. If we wanted to go ahead and see like all the clones or the seeds that we're coming through to purchase, right here, this is where Fishbowl says, this item, I need this quantity to go ahead and meet my production, right? I buy it from this vendor. So this automation helps you to go ahead and purchase those items that are needed by production. You're always able to go ahead and create a purchase order to go ahead and add things that you need on the fly at any moment, right? So you'd be able to go ahead and get 10-inch pots, right? That kind of thing. However, we're doing that.
And then this connects to QuickBooks so that it knows the purchases or
It does. Yeah. So then on the Fishbowl side, as soon as I am done with my transactions, right, on the Fishbowl side, I have the ability to send um, all of my data over to QuickBooks, right? So then my sales orders, those will come in, right? I'll be able to pick them. Maybe I need to shoot off and make them. As soon as I ship it, that queues up and it creates an invoice for you over on the QuickBooks side. Now I connect to QuickBooks Desktop, Enterprise, or QBO. So whichever way you've got going on there. Where Fishbowl really comes into play with Fishbowl and QuickBooks is that QuickBooks comes in and I'm sorry, Fishbowl comes in and it does all the heavy lifting around the inventory, the transactions, and I push all the financial data over to QuickBooks, right? Your purchase orders, those will come over, they'll create a bill for you on the QuickBooks side. Accounts payable, accounts receivable, your balance sheet, your profit and loss, those are still going to be things that we're doing on the QuickBooks side.
okay. And then for the labor, is there a place that you have to enter your labor on here?
Yeah, that's going to be in most commonly that's found in your bill of materials as you guys are shooting through and making items, right? Like here I'm coming through and making this tincture, right? And I can go ahead and I can see that in my bill of material to do that, I've got that labor. Here's the label, the tincture bottle, right? The isolate and grapeseed oil, all ready to go.
So like if I have a manu or an employee and they've gotten their annual raise, I would have to enter that here. Like how does it keep up with changes for the
Perfect.
cost of labor?
Perfect. On labor, The way that Fishbowl can process labor is in three ways. If you wanted to go ahead and just estimate labor, you can do that. Um, if you wanted to go ahead and put down an estimate and then update it when it's in production and say, okay, we didn't take 70, like 45 minutes, we ended up taking an hour, you can do that, right? The cost that's associated with this is set right here. And then if I am ready to go ahead and reach a phase where I'm having my team clock in and clock out, that is the third option where we would be able to have your employee rate attached to that one automatically. Generally, when people are doing option one or option two, they're doing an estimated labor rate, right? And then the third and final option is where the employee is able to clock in, clock into the project, the work order, say, hey, I'm working on this, making this item, and then their labor rate can go ahead and hit into Fishbowl.
Okay, got it. Okay. And so then, like, okay, so now it's the end of the month. We need to do our end of quarter. We need to do an inventory count.
Mhm.
Um, are we able to see like what are our raw materials, our work in process and finished goods? Like what should we be able should can we pull those numbers from this software?
So on the Fishbowl side, you will be able to pull over your inventory, right? I'm sorry, your labor to go ahead and see what people have worked on. Um, I don't I don't act as a labor like payroll. I can go ahead and kick out that data so that QuickBooks could have it.
No. So if
Did
it's
I
the
miss
end of the
that?
month and we have to do inventory counts and we want to know how much inventory should be on the balance sheet, how much raw materials, how much work in progress, and how much finished goods, like the total cost, not just the labor piece.
Okay,
Does
okay.
yeah.
You do have the ability to go ahead and do cycle counts, right? We do have a mobile app that you can go ahead and jump into, get that, do cycle counting quarterly, monthly, yearly, however you're doing that, right? I also have the ability to, if we want to do it in this manner, where we're able to go ahead and kick out, just 2 seconds. A lot of times I've seen people like to go ahead and queue up like a cycle count list where they're trying to go ahead and um, they want to go ahead and send it out blind to the team where Fishbowl can send it out and tell you the quantity that's in there. I also have the ability to go ahead and right here, not show the quantity so that they can go ahead and do a cycle count without knowing what the quantity is, like to try to do a more true cycle count and then go ahead and update Fishbowl in that manner.
Okay, cool. And this shows, okay, so it's damaged, it's inspection. Okay, so this breaks it out by if it's
By location.
oh,
Yeah. Here, let me scoot to a different page.
okay.
There we go. Like there's another location on the water, QA inspection, right? So,
Okay.
okay. So, Naomi, I'm just looking at your list. I want to make sure that I'm checking all those boxes. Let me just make sure. Let's hit on that lot number, batch number, expiration date. Fishbowl definitely has the capability to do that, right? You saw the lot numbers on this one. On my, just want to see that tincture. Yeah, and then that one just has a lot number, right? So, Fishbowl does a FIFO rotation on your stock, but if you do have an expiration date on it, like I think this one had that. Fishbowl will also go ahead and load by the first to expire, right? It'll go to FIFO for you.
Okay. Okay. Does this also give you any KPIs like how many days the inventory has been sitting, inventory turns, things like that?
Yeah, so then on the Fishbowl side, when it comes to reporting, I have about 200 standard reports, right? And then I also have an AI component of reporting, where I can go ahead and kick out other data um, reports that we're trying to go ahead and grab. On the Fishbowl side, um, the reports are more around like inventory, margin, sales order, purchase orders that are, waiting to come in, what I have outstanding on sales orders, back order reports, things like that, right? Maybe I'm also looking for like a margins report right here, like this one, and so I can see like, okay, I have the item, I have the quantity, price, cost of good, right? So I can see that margin that I'm kicking out. There is also, I'll scoot this over here for a second just for you to see it. We also have this AI platform component that we've added in the last year. Has a high level dashboard right here where you can put reports that you'd like to go ahead and be primarily displayed so you guys can see them all the time. You'll also have the ability to build your own reports. All of your data is going to go ahead and hit this environment. If I say I'm trying to go ahead and build an inventory report or a report around my inventory, I'm going to have the ability to choose from all of these, as filters, load them to columns on the report. Now, once I've built that report, and we do have reports that we've already built for you, you can see like, okay, I can now start to see like the reports that I built. This one, I'll pause here for a second. This one starts to help you see what you should start to have in stock for, like, say, for example, raw goods or finished goods on items based on like, your history, your consumption, raw good, finished good, all of that to help us see what we need to have. This goes one step further and then starts to project for us what we should make, what we should buy, right? I'll hit this recommended PO.
Mm.
The recommended PO portion has the ability to go ahead and say, okay, now that I know what I need to keep in stock, help me see what I need to buy. So then it can go ahead and help us see like, okay, on these items, what vendor I need to buy that from, the quantity I have, the recommended amount. Um, and then it starts to go ahead and help it give us other data around purchasing. Has that vendor had a delay? When will I have a stock out based on my current um, flow, right? And then it has the ability to look where it's getting that recommended amount is from all of our data, like um, our consumption over the last 30 days, the last year, the last 2 years, right? So it has a lot of data that it's analyzing to go ahead and give us that amount that we should go ahead and be purchasing.
Okay.
The
That's
other
really good.
element here that I've been getting a lot of great feedback on is the ability, like with any AI bot, you can ask it any questions. So, like, what were my top sellers last week, or
Mhm.
what's my highest margin product right now? This is something that I think in hindsight, I'm like, man, if I would have had this, it would have saved me like I don't know how many hours of my
Yeah.
day of manually analyzing my own reports. The other thing that I just want to make a call out on, just as we're looking at the amount of data that's here at your fingertips, this tool, of course, makes it really easy and kind of just presents it to you, no matter what position you are in the company. Which I should say on that, there's also user accessibility rights. So the system is set up to where you can grant each user X amount of permissions based off of what they should and shouldn't see. But the other really big takeaway with me having worked in a number of systems is the cool thing about Fishbowl is you can do an unlimited amount of custom fields, and those fields can be tracked on and or added to your reporting. So if a certain supplier or vendor or customer needs a certain subset of data, you can make those reports and save them so they're ready to go for that end user.
Mhm.
The other point being that Fishbowl, I noticed anytime I got like a new compliance thrown at me or a new shipping label requirement or just like the smallest tweak that I had to add to a point of data I needed to reference, Fishbowl is very good at molding rather than me having to feel like I was changing my processes to fit into the system's workflows. Fishbowl was the easiest tool I found to where it molded to my workflows and processes. So
Yeah.
hopefully that can resonate with some of you on, I know like the biggest issue that most of us are probably up against with clients who need better inventory management is that change management and implementing new systems is hard. Like point blank, it's just a hard thing to do because they still also have to run a business and then learn a system and then actually operate the system. So
Mhm.
I think that that's something that our team's done a really good job of understanding. And I would say that Fishbowl has done a really great job of figuring out how to handhold and assist in that process and really empathize with what's going on, both on the client's end and as you as the expert and the advisor coming in to help them. So just kind of a standout that I wanted. All that data chat and the AI chat kind of gets me going in other directions. So not to derail it too much, but if that kind of opens up any other questions, happy to answer them as well.
Yeah, so I was curious about the reporting because I noticed that in the so is the AI tool that you just showed us kind of taking over this reporting, or is there purpose for both?
The purpose for both is that so the AI data like that, um, and I want to go ahead and help everyone see that that's data that's unique to your business, right? And so it's consistently learning from your data. Um, it's taking reporting to that next AI level of it starting to go ahead and analyze things for me. There's some algorithms there on forecasting and like you saw in on the purchasing and helping me to see what I need to manufacture, right? That we are finding in the last year have saved people a ton of money on like raw goods. What amount should I keep in stock, right? On finished goods. What really are my top sellers? What are my top sellers seasonally, right? Because I might start to have that, and I haven't maybe become aware of it. And so I think the AI it is just taking all of the reporting to the next playing level.
The way I would see it also is like you think of Fishbowl as having just like it's like you're just like static data that's there because that's like what's happened in your business. Whereas just like with Chat GPT and all of these AI tools that are not up and coming are there and available. This is just more or less us trying to keep up with the tech stacks that are available. And so it's like we had to add an AI component to stay relevant, right? And I don't want to call it like the lazy man's tool, but ultimately it's like I can go run my reports in Fishbowl and analyze it based off of what I know. But like, and I'll also go use that tool because it's going to tell me things that I either might not have the time to be pulling right now. And of course, we still have to always add that human element of analyzing it, but it's going to get to kind of like business decision making metrics for you quicker and kind of serve them up to you on a platter. And then you can kind of assess from there.
Right.
Nice.
Right. I would say the AI portion has definitely taken like the purchasing, the manufacturing, and those reorder points, like an MRP, right? It has given those new power, right? So that we can kind of dial in on that and take away that feeling of, okay, I have a magic 8 ball. Am I right? Right? And it's giving us more of a data defined future, like Kara's kind of speaking to.
Okay. And then in the reporting module, I noticed that there was an accounting thing. Is
Yeah.
um does what does the accounting tell you?
So in accounting, Fishbowl is pushing over its data over to QuickBooks, right? So then I might want to go ahead and see what Fishbowl has pushed. I also have, so this one right here is saying, hey, that there's that sales order number, the items on the order, the date that it's posted to QuickBooks, price, cost of goods, margins, right? So that I can see, and the status of whether it's posted to QuickBooks or not. Also
Um,
over here, I have the ability to kind of look at an adjustment report um, and let those, oh, it's new month, but it could go ahead and help me see like all of the adjustments that I've had all the cycles, the ads, all those things that I have going on.
Okay.
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 So one thing that I would hit back
All
on
right.
and that I feel like is good is helping us kind of see, like, we've kind of taken a tiny look at those bill of materials. Now, this is the foundation. This is like the data, right? Let's watch this come to play, right? So now I have, let's do this pre-roll. So now I have like that trimmed flower, right? I have all of it coming through to like a sellable product. Let's go ahead and make this. I just want to help you kind of see production. So now I'm coming through. Now there's automation to production because if I have Fishbowl tell me like, hey, go look at all my sales orders, tell me what I need to make, I can do that. If I have a reorder point, that MRP that we were just kind of talking about, and I set that to my finished good level and I want to keep 1,000 of this in stock, Fishbowl will start to kind of automate my production, right? It'll start to help me see what I need to make when I need to make it. I'm going to just push this manually here now, and I'm going to say, hey, we're doing a batch of 1,000. And now you can see, Kate, on this pre-roll, I'm ready to go. Now, in production, you'll oftentimes have like, okay, this is what I need to make. Now I need to finesse when I need to make it. We're trying to hit sales order deadlines potentially, right? But I might use the calendar to finesse out when I'm making it. So as a production manager, I can color code these like into the team that's doing it, right? I can also color code production into the type of product, whether that's like gummy, tincture, salve, whatever we've got going on, right? And so then I can kind of load it to the machine. Using the calendar, I see helping us see and make sure that we've got all of our raw goods in stock to build this, that we have a workforce team able to go ahead and build it that day, and that the machine's available, right? We're going to have reporting around capacity planning and as well as that workforce, right? So that I can kind of see, oh, okay, I've got a day where I've got to go fix it. I've got too much to do on that day, so I've got to kind of pick it up and move it. You can kind of see how on the Fishbowl side, you're able to kind of pick it up and move things. Especially also over at the calendar, if I'm color coding and I'm saying, hey, this team's too heavy that day, right? I can kind of pick it up and move it here as a nice way of finessing. Then on the Fishbowl side, I'm going to show you this. This is where I could come through and go ahead and send out to my team. If we're wanting to do paper, I'm going to load this to this side. And I can see all of the components that are going into this. I can see instructions. If I need to have pictures, I can have that, right? But I also have our mobile app, right? I'll pull that over. This is a good time to introduce this. Our mobile app is Android based and iOS based, right? So got you covered whether you want to use iPads, tablets, iPhones, Android phones, or if we're doing a ton of scanning and we want to do those Zebra commercial grade scanners, great, right? In here, you'll have the ability to go ahead and pick for your work orders, pick for your sales orders, receive your raw goods, do that cycle counting that we were talking about earlier, scrap out things, right? A lot of times on the cannabis side, we have waste. And so we need to kind of come through and be able to easily let the system know, hey, we've had some waste, right? So I love for the team to have the ability to kind of make these adjustments to our inventory on the go rather than having to come back to the computer every time to do it. So now that I gave that a soft introduction, I'm going to go into the work order area to help you kind of see that. I'm just going to kick into one of the work orders that's sitting here. So right in here, I can see, okay, here's my instructions on this, right? And here's my raw goods at the bottom. The quantity has been the math's been done for me there. And then here's my finished good and my output, what I'm trying to do. So the team would be able to go ahead and complete out the work order on the paper, and then it comes back into, a production manager and we complete it out. Or if we want the team to be in the mobile app and complete out the work order there, that's also a capability there.
And something to note on that, we also have the ability to do approval stages. So if something can only go so far before it needs to before somebody needs to be notified for approval, we can have those settings apply as well.
Yeah.
Okay. There is a question. Is there a Gantt chart feature as well?
Yes. Yeah, there is. So in here, then I can go ahead and kick out a Gantt chart, right, to go ahead and get that data as well. That's in our BI.
And then I know you guys work for cultivation, processing, manufacturing, but do you guys have any type of retail modules as well? Or is it
Yeah.
just the inventory? Okay.
Yeah. So Fishbowl really tries to come full circle to the equation, right? Because the sales drives production. Our sales are consuming our inventory, giving us all that feedback. So on the sales side, then I could go ahead and start to have sales. The automation for sales, Fishbowl has an open API, so I'm able to connect to all of the e-commerce platforms. If we're doing that, I can do a B2B portal. That's where your customer logs into a web-based portal. They create their own orders, and that comes in, right? So right in here, just to give you an example of an order, I can see I've got my customer, my items, right? My quantity. And then the process here on the Fishbowl side is, let's grab one of these items. I'm gonna do that tincture. Sorry, right here. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna start a new sales order, add my customer, right? And then I'm gonna go ahead and add my item. And now this is where Fishbowl, if I don't have this in stock, there is automation where it could go ahead and scoot out over to manufacturing and let manufacturing know I need to build this. If you have this item on like 30 different sales orders and you're short on all of them, right? Fishbowl could go ahead and group all those sales orders to make one manufacturer order to make those 30 items for us all at once. The sales, just to kind of help you see it, you'll have the ability to quote. I've just kind of quickly created this, and then our team is going to be able to go ahead and pick it and ship it. Fishbowl has this concept of green, yellow, red. Green means that order, if it's a work order or sales order, I have it all in stock. I'm ready to go ahead and pick and ship that complete. Maybe I'm ready to make it and I have everything in stock. I'm ready to make it complete. I have yellow. Yellow means I have some items and I'm missing some items, right? So I'm still waiting for items to come in. And red means that I don't have it in stock. I can't ship it right now. And I'm waiting to either build it or receive it in. So then on the Fishbowl side, we would come through, create the order, pick it, and then ship it. I'm going to swing over the mobile app here for a second because the mobile app, let me get out of that work order. I'd be able to go ahead and pick for that sales order. And then I can see, okay, I have these items that I'm trying to pick. This item is short. And you'll start to see how Fishbowl is starting to help guide and direct you on where to go get it, right? So it knows it's in this location. It knows you need this quantity. If this were lot number, it would go ahead and present like the lot number right here for you to kind of pick the lot number. Let's go into a different one. Right, and so then I can see like that one's in that New York and it's in my stockroom location so that I could go ahead and get it.
Something, Barbara, something just to note on that, Naomi, I don't know if you guys run into this often, but Um,
Mhm.
Another main reason that a lot of people, especially in like the food and beverage industry, as well as cannabis or anything that requires such kind of like complex traceability, serialization, lot code, batch tracking. Fishbowl is one of the few that can do it in the sense that they can do reverse audit trails. So if there comes, I don't know what honestly, I don't know what the situation might be, but if there was something where like, whoa, we need to inform all of our customers that we sold this certain batch to, we have the ability to do all of the reporting to get that quickly, right? And then
Yeah.
be able to notify everybody, whether it be just like let's notify the production run, or if we need to go to the point of notifying customers, we have the ability to pull all of that data right away.
Yeah, and then you mentioned that if somebody were to sign up, you guys have a full onboarding process. But what's the support subsequent to that? If there needs to be changes or adjustments, how does that work?
Oh, sure. So on the fishbowl side, that's perfect. Let's bring up this. Once you purchase Fishbowl, we'll walk through all these phases. We'll help get your data in. You'll be able to send your data over to us, like on a CSV. If you're already in QuickBooks, we'll connect to QuickBooks, grab your data from there, right? That will help us create that database. Then the implementer hears all of your processes and the outcomes that you're looking to have, right? And then we start to go ahead and build a process and train on that process. We can train in groups all together. If you've got any integrations like the metric, right, we're going to start to test those at that point, make sure that we're getting what we need, right? And then we're going to go ahead and have a go live. Your implementer is going to be through with you through this whole phase. Typically, this takes about, I would say, it can take anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. I'm sorry, 4 to 8 weeks, right? But maybe 6 weeks is a good middle, right, to go ahead and kind of estimate that. Um, as far as support after, right? After you've had your implementer come through and you've been live for like 6 months and you're wanting to maybe take something to the next level or discover that you want to go ahead and add another component, right? You'll be able to go ahead and work with our team support. You're able to go ahead and talk with us from, let me just get my times. So it's 6 a.m. And you'll be able to be on the phone with someone until 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, but our chat does stay open until 10 p.m. Right, so you'll be able to go ahead and be covered. If right now our live call pickup time is probably around like 5, 6 minutes.
Is
And
there
that
additional cost? Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I no, you're fine. I was just gonna say all support, so unlimited support, phone, chat, or email is all included in the purchase price.
Yeah.
Which and we can get more specific on pricing, but I know that's always like, what is it? So the product that we've just been describing, right, is our most complex manufacturing product. So that can start around like 350 per month per user. But the more users you add, that can come down. That being said, you might get into with our sales team. What's great about the team, they've been around for so long, they're very good at shooting me straight in terms of like, based off of what you've described of your clients needs, this is the product that fits best. So let's say it can range anywhere from 350 per month per user for complex down all the way down to like $99 a user. So we have a range of products based off of the needs of the customer. The one
Mhm.
time implementation cost that you will, and sorry, that's the price that includes the unlimited support. The only other cost that you're going to see is if you do run into those needs for custom integrations or maybe like a custom platform to sync to, and then the implementation cost. So I typically see them range from, to Barbara's point, for like very straightforward, just like distribution in and out is about 4 to 6 weeks go live, and can usually range about 4 to 6K as a one-time implementation cost. And then for the more complex manufacturing, you'd usually be closer to the 6 to 8 weeks go live, and the I again see it range $6 to $8,000 again as a one-time cost. Your client will also get a dedicated account manager. They usually get an introduction to them like halfway through their onboarding, just so they know like I can call my onboarding specialist and I can call my account manager. And then, of course, for you all in the position that you're in, you also have access to me as your dedicated partner manager. So even if it's like a, hey, can you give them some extra help or give them a call? Maybe I'm just working with you and getting you connected to the account manager. That's the additional kind of resource for you in your role. We have a great partner program. If you're able to accept commissions, we have those for you, or conflict of interest, we can pass them on to the customer. We have an awesome partner portal where you can jump in there, submit referrals, book support calls on behalf of your clients if needed. There's a whole world of resources, demos, as well as access to a whole training library full of videos. It's the same library access that your clients would get as they're onboarding. I am happy to give that to you guys straight away. So I can invite you to the partner portal, let you jump in there, see the videos, access the demos. Um, and then, oh, I just lost my train of thought. There was one more. Um, it will come to me.
Okay.
Basically, I'm your resource.
Well, while you're thinking about that, just
Mhm.
quickly, are you guys in all legal states? And also, do you integrate with both BioTrack and Metric Seed to Sell?
Yes, and the other one
Yes.
that we also do is Leaf Link.
Mhm. Yes, and we are also international. So we have headquarters in, we're just south of Salt Lake City in Utah. And then, so that's our main headquarters where our implementation team is, our support team. I, as a one time customer, think it's a huge deal to call out. If you need to talk to an actual human, we do that. We still do that. And then we have headquarters in Australia. We're opening an office in the UK, and then we have an office in Singapore. So it's kind of a really exciting time, quite honestly, for Fishbowl. We have a lot of financial backing going into our product right now. A lot of heavy focus on manufacturing in the cloud and developing it as at the rate of AI, as well as our integration and our partnership with Intuit is a really big conversation right now. So um,
Nice.
anything else that comes up or any questions we can help with, happy to do so.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Well, did you guys have anything else? I think we're at a good point to start wrapping up. I don't see, let us know if you guys have any questions in the chat. Um,
Yeah, and Naomi, like I said, I'll share. I apologize for my little technical difficulties over here in conference land. I will definitely share the recording of this demo. I'll drop you all links to case studies, to our partner program. Of course, my email. You guys are also welcome to just shoot up. It's partners at fbimd.com. But I will send a recap of all of this to make sure you guys have access. And we're also happy to provide individual demos. If you guys want to jump on a call and just do some individual solution solving, we're happy to do that as well. Oh,
Yeah.
this is what it was, partner license keys. I am also happy to give you all access to demo databases so you can jump in there and kind of toy around with it yourself. And then oftentimes as you're kind of exploring, more questions will come up and we can dig into them at that point too.
Yeah, absolutely.
all right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thanks to all of you for your time. And like I said, if you happen to be at MJ BizCon, Naomi, I know you will.
Yeah.
We would love to meet you there. So definitely come say hi.
Awesome. Will do. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us today and hope this was helpful. And we will see you on the next one. Bye.
Thank you.